Hey, and welcome back to Code It With AI. This is episode 18. I'm Carl Franklin from AppVNext. That's Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. Hey, Jeff, I got monkeys in my backyard.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's going on?
Let me tell you, it was raining earlier in the week, and I could have sworn I saw a shark go down the street.
Jeez. There's some weird stuff happening, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something in the water. I don't know. Anyway, Jeff is doing the heavy lifting today, so I only know the name of this thing because I'm reading it right here, Squad. What is this? And the floor is yours, Jeff. Go ahead.
Oh, man. So we've seen in the past few weeks, on the past few episodes, because we know you've been watching all the episodes of Code It With AI, right? We know we've learned about skills and agents and various language models. And as we try and cobble all these things together to try and figure out a better way to write software, it gets a little confusing about how the pieces fit together.
Right.
And like agents are kind of cool to talk to, but that's like having a co-pilot. Like there's my buddy sitting in the co-pilot seat next to me. I'm flying the plane and I ask it for directions. I ask it to do stuff and it does something. But there's 5 more seats on the plane in the cockpit here behind me where I've got other folks that could be helping out and doing things. How do I get those folks filled with AI and all working together as a team to fly this plane, to deliver this project? And
I want a plane like that.
Yeah, right? That's where the squad comes in.
Okay.
So the idea here, and this was started by our friend Brady Gaster, the idea here is we want agents to be able to talk to each other. But right. Talk is a little bit too formalized. Share documents with status and not just have general purpose agents out there that all know how to write C# code or all know how to write JavaScript code. Mm-hmm. But let's have them specialized. When we think about the plane, we think about a space shuttle. There's folks that have different assigned tasks, right? We've got the commander, we've got the captain, we've got the co-pilot, we've got the engineers, we've got the folks that are working on comms, and all these folks work together to fly that space shuttle, that science fiction starcraft, whatever it might be. And that's what the squad lets us do.
This is. I don't know anything yet, but
go for it.
What's been in the news lately is this thing called Claudebot or Moltbot or Moltbook, MOLT and CLAWD. And it got in trouble because it was so open-ended and there weren't any guardrails around it that they started talking to each other and then they started opening up these API things and, money was disappearing from your accounts.
Yeah, right. And that was intended to be kind of like a desktop assistant that would do things for you on your computer. This is a collection of agents that work in a folder in places that you tell it to and delivers value using the GitHub Copilot instances that you're already using out there. So We've already tinkered a little bit with using Copilot to help us with AVN Data Genie. Let's take a look and set up a squad to work with AVN Data Genie and show you how we can start to do a little bit more with that project by having 5 or 6 AI agents all work on it at the same time.
And they're all doing different jobs, right? That's the whole point of this. Yeah.
Yep. We'll set it up and get this thing started.
Okay. Let's do it.
So this is the website that we can get squad from, github.com/BradyGaster/squad. And there's directions here about how to get started, and it's real easy to add squad to your project with this npx command. Okay. So you need to have Node installed in order to run this command and add squad to your project. So I'm just going to copy that and jump over here to the folder for AVN Data Genie. And I'm just going to initialize the squad real quick. Paste in that command right at the root.
Right.
And it's going to copy down and create a bunch of markdown files, some JSON documents, some YAML files. And now we can start up Copilot and connect to a squad specific agent.
I see. So squad becomes your front man, so to speak. So it's dealing with all of the other agents.
You got it.
I see.
So I have some MCP servers already configured for me. You see here, I'm running Claude Opus, and I'm going to change over to the squad agent. So I ran /agent, and I'll choose squad as my agent. I'm also going to hit Shift Tab here and jump into autopilot mode, so that if it asks me any questions, it's just going to give it a, yeah, go ahead, you can do that type of response.
All right, so you're not constantly approving everything.
You got it.
Now, is that dangerous?
It can be dangerous. The squad has some guardrails around it that it will not reach outside of the folder you have it working in unless you explicitly tell it to.
You know what I like about the, approving everything is that I can read it. I can see what it's going to do, and I can take a minute to scroll back up and see exactly what it's going to do. I really don't want a bunch of stuff, missing a bunch of text in terms of its intent and what it did.
No. So let me initialize the squad. Now, squad has built into it this idea of being able to work with different universes of characters, so that instead of just having agents named, web developer or database developer, we can give them names that relate to something that we might be interested in, something that's fun and interesting and compelling. So I'm going to tell it that I'm interested in the DC universe, the DC comic book universe where Superman and Batman and all them live. And let's initialize a squad that's going to look at AVN Data Genie and start analyzing and telling us what it sees and what we can do with this.
Okay.
I like the DC universe of comic characters. I'd like to assign a squad to work on the AVN Data Genie project. We'll review current state, proposed features, and discuss next steps.
So you said the DC comics because that's what it's going to name them after, all these people.
Exactly. So there's a bunch of different universes of characters from science fiction and pop culture. You can name characters after Breaking Bad, after Lord of the Rings, Star Trek. It's got a bunch of characters that are already set up, and you can even give it some other pop culture references, and it'll go and discover characters in that space.
But you could also just name them manually, right?
Sure, you can name them manually.
Yeah.
I want to name them after the monkeys, and sure enough, then you'll have the 4 monkeys named out there, or the Beatles, or whatever you'd like. So here we go. It's got a few characters for us, and it's starting to initialize and put together, here's what we can work on. So we have a project lead named Oracle from DC. We're going to have Batgirl, who's going to serve as our front-end developer that works on Blazor user interfaces, Razor components. Nightwing is our back-end developer working on APIs and schema generation. The Huntress is our tester, testing quality edge cases. And then we have 2 special agents that are added. Our Scribe, who doesn't actually interact with anything, but hangs on to the memory of what the agents are collaborating on together.
That's good.
It's going to help channel decisions and log what's going on in the sessions. And then we have Ralph. Ralph's a monitor. Think of Ralph like our micromanaging software team director that's going to make sure folks are working on tasks, managing the backlog, and keeping folks working on time.
I'm having a problem reading the blue letters. Is that just the way you've got it set up?
Yeah, that's just my terminal. That's just me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You can read that, though, when it's blue against that dark?
Sometimes.
My eyes are worse than yours. Okay, good. Well, that's cool.
So we've got some folks allocated. Now it's going to go out and it's going to create what's called the team charters. So it's actually going to put definitions of those roles into folders for each one of these members of these teams, these agents that we're defining.
Okay.
Now, we don't actually work with these agents directly inside of Copilot. We work with the squad agent, And the squad agent knows how to delegate to these individual agents themselves, Batgirl and Nightwing and Huntress. It will spin up and run many of them in the background that are dedicated and working on those individual purposes.
Okay, now this may be awesome and it may produce great results. What is the cost in tokens versus just using Copilot by itself?
So we're running with Copilot. Now, here in May of 2026, the current billing for Copilot is per request. So you get several hundred requests per month, depending on which subscription level you have.
Right.
And I've submitted one request at this point to define the squad.
Now, when these agents work against the LLM, aren't they adding requests to it as well? Don't you have to pay for those?
So I've given this one command here. We're running with one of the premium models, and it's showing up as 6 requests at this point. Now, 6 requests, but look at that Claude Opus number just below there.
4.6. Wow.
It's Claude Opus 4.6, 1.2 million tokens so far.
And that's just since you started using it, not since this session, right?
No, that's this session.
1.2 million tokens?
Because it's looking at the entire project right now.
That's a lot of tokens.
That's a lot of tokens, but
you're paying by the request.
We're paying by the request.
I see.
And we're using one of the premium models here that is a 3 times. So we sent in one request that had actually 2 tasks on it. Mm-hmm. So it did the first task of defining the team, and now it's analyzing the project. So 2 tasks times 3. We have 6 requests.
All right. So you do kind of have to be careful, I guess.
Certainly.
Because, yeah.
But when we get into the next phase of this, you'll start to see that things become a lot more compelling.
Okay.
We're going to take a little bit here, though, to let the team build out and do its analysis.
Okay.
So it has a decision. This isn't anything interesting yet to talk about, but so the scribe, the memory, is writing out, here's what I found, here's what I understand at this point.
Wow. So this is a really big deal because most agents, when you deal with them, they have a limited memory. They have a memory of the session, but everything else they have to infer from what's going on immediately. All right, so what's this?
So here's the same folks that we put on the team, and you'll see that it's using different models for the different agents, the different characters on the team. We're going to use a Sonnet 4.5 model, which is, it's not the premium model that the Opus is. It's still a 1x multiplier model for the request.
Oh, okay.
It's going to use the Haiku 4.5, which is a minimal cost. We only pay a third of a request for each one of those because it's just analyzing text. It can do that really fast. So we can save some interactions there by using a lighter model. And Ralph isn't doing anything. Ralph just comes along and is a for loop and just kind of pushes things along.
Okay. So let's see what they are suggesting.
Yeah. So here's what the squad has taken a look at and has found. So it's a 4-project .NET 10 Aspire solution with a solid separation of concerns. Hey, look at that. It's complimenting you and me on this one.
Great.
App host, the admin app, the Data Genie, natural language queries, SQL Core. Is the crown jewel. Look at that, the crown jewel, Carl.
Wow.
And then there's schema generator that does the DB metadata extraction. Okay.
Good.
Very strong on LLM provider abstraction, 4 backend clients via iChat client, thoughtful prompt construction. Hey, look at you.
Right.
Good SQL post-processing, intuitive 4-step wizard flow. There's concerns about we don't have any test projects.
Mm-hmm.
The config is 49K in one file. App state is using local storage, so it's a single user dead end. The SQL prompt builder duplicates model types from schema generator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's got some roadmap
feedback.
Ideas that it's suggesting here. So at the foundation in phase 1, let's write some tests finish some documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Every feature added without tests makes it harder to test the next one. Mm-hmm. Several undocumented files already have XML docs, and we can update the tracker with that.
Okay.
Some quick wins with some CSV or Excel export. I don't know if we want that. Query favorites, I think that was something that you were talking about at one point.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Some building blocks, save results with queries, query templates, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Query performance analytics, some instrumentation, multi-database architecture, multi-user RBAC.
Yeah. We already talked about doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So documentation is only about 34% done. Oracle notes several undocumented files actually have good XML docs already. So here's our next steps. What can we do? So we can tell it to dig deeper into a specific area, set up test projects, add CSV export, or just, you know what, go start phase 1. So phase 1, the foundation, tests and finish the documents. So if we do that, let's do this. Yes, start on phase 1. Let's also recruit a GitHub DevOps engineer to configure some GitHub actions for continuous integration.
Okay.
What else? It'd be good if we had somebody who's a database engineer, somebody who's really good at working with and tuning database.
Okay.
We could also use a database engineer and performance expert to help tune database interactions.
So does that mean tune the SQL statements so they'll be as efficient as possible?
Yeah.
That's great.
So we'll recruit some folks. We'll start on the next phase. We're going to send all that in. And what it's going to do is start some background tasks to work on those development processes and assign those to folks on the squad. And we're going to recruit those 2 other folks that we're going to need for phase 2 or phase 3, where we want to start working on performance. So here we go. It's going to create 2 new team members. It's going to recruit Lucius for DevOps and Cyborg for database and performance. Okay. And it's going to go and create those agent directories, so we store information about them. And then we're going to go and add those team members and start phase 1. So we'll see it in a second here. Kick up and there'll be processes running. I'll run the /tasks command, and we'll be able to see those background processes start up right here in this panel.
So it tells you what tasks are running in the background.
You got it.
Scribe is doing his thing or her thing. Oracle is reviewing the project state.
Yeah, those ones are done. We'll see it after it finishes allocating. The folks will start working here. There you go. So just like we have ceremonies around kicking off a sprint, starting working on a project together, it does the same thing metaphorically here as a series of agents. So here's the tasks that it's assigned to these 4 characters.
I see.
So now we're seeing it's more than just, hey, I'm asking an agent to do something. I've got 4 agents doing something, and they're all collaborating back together.
And the thing is, they're specialized to do what they do. So that means, if you were doing this yourself, they would all have unique system prompts. And it's more than skills, isn't it? Like a skill is sort of like a system prompt-ish thing that's just for a particular task.
Yep.
Dealing with a particular thing. But how is that different than, a skill from an agent that is a database expert?
So by doing it this way, we can still have those skills that explain, here's how you go and work with the database. We're going to be changing the way that the agents approach and work with those tasks by making them think they are those experts and are focused on those types of interactions.
Mm.
So here we go. They're off and running, and you can see in my terminal there that there are 4 different agents that are now running concurrently in the background on those. Now, we can go over, and while this is running, I'm going to bring up the information about the squad here in the background in VS Code. Because if we look at this, inside we have a .ai team now, and then we have an agents. And let's open Batgirl and look at her charter.
Oh, okay. So this is like her skill.
You got it. This is her agent definition, and there are other skills that are present here, but this is the agent definition of what she's good at doing.
Mm.
So some identity, what her expertise is, and here are the things in the project that she owns. When one of these things comes up, it's assigned to Batgirl.
Oh, great.
So, and how it works, boundaries, and we can talk to the AI and tune these and focus them a little bit, or we can just edit the markdown here if we'd like. It's a lot more compelling to talk to the AI and let it update these files,
right,
and shape them how you want.
Right. It's less work for you.
Exactly. So, passionate about user experience, fight for good defaults and clear error messages. Thinks every button should have a loading state, prefers simple, clean design over flashy ones. Now, you may want it to be slightly different. You might want a flashy design. You can change this real easy.
Yeah, okay.
So,
good.
That's going to run in the background for a little bit. So it's already done the first couple and setting up the test project now.
Okay. So the order of operation seems important here, right? Like if you've told Nightwing or whichever the one is that does the coding in the Blazor and all that stuff, you told it to do some of these features, and then at the same time told somebody else to write test harnesses. Well, the features have to be written first, right? Is that what we're seeing here? The tests are being done after any coding is done, or?
Well, it's building tests based on the code that we have delivered at this point.
Right.
It does know how to thread and do the project management so that there's priorities and dependencies don't get worked on until their things that they depend on get delivered. So what's interesting and what we need to think about as developers who are using tools like this is we are now literally managing a project team.
Right.
So you don't want to give it one little task that one developer can run off and do. You want to give it, here's the overall picture of the thing that I want. You go figure out how to do this and assign the tasks appropriately.
Right, but will the tester and the coder be in concert with each other automatically?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that's great. Because that's what, I would do if I'm in a room and I have to go write code and somebody else has to write tests. We're going to be talking a lot. Hey, I just finished this, write a test for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So let's look at what it completed. So Huntress went and created 64 tests, all green, for AVN Data Genie using XUnit, 30 for the SQL prompt builder, 12 for clean and format SQL, 22 for formatting SQL.
Wow.
Changed 3 methods to internal static for testability.
Interesting.
Created a CI pipeline so that we can build and test when we push and send PRs into main, including setting up .NET 10, NuGet caching, SHA pinned actions, concurrency control, trying to target 2 minutes for our builds.
Wow.
Documented a series of files here. So coverage went from 34% documentation to 55%. We can tell it to work more on that, but that's not bad. And we got a full database audit by our database specialist. Found a couple n+1 query problems in the schema generator. A 4n+1 round trip per extraction. Flagged the SQL injection risk from unvalidated LLM output.
Good.
Recommended a 3 interface abstraction.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Created a couple skills so that he can manage and build stuff going forward. And key findings worth discussing. So it found some SQL injection concerns.
Yep.
That n+1, and it has a fix for us that could be 5 bulk queries. There was a NuGet conflict that it worked out. So now some suggestions. What do you want to do next? So tackle the SQL injection.
This is amazing. The only thing that I would, caution people on is you really ought to know what it's doing. And this is just a general thing that Richard Campbell and I have been beating the drum and on security this week too. It's like, you're using AI to do these bigger and bigger things and working at a higher and higher level. And it becomes like a moral obligation for you literally to double check and fact check and, not just leave it up to the compiler, but look at all the code, make sure you understand it. Make sure you tell your agents to comment the code if you don't understand it. And that's just the thing. Now you can get somebody who's just a, Mort developer creating all these, GitHub actions and all these things that they may not understand. And, that could be really scary.
It could be. And I think you're on the right path with talking about making sure that things are documented and you review them. I like making sure that we have unit tests and integration tests set up so that we can review and ensure everything still passes all of our tests. We've got gated scenarios before we, the humans, review the project, validate, and ensure that, yes, this is what we want going forward.
Might even be worth to set up another member of the squad to come in and do a final review. Not a final review, but a review.
Yeah.
A code review, something that's completely independent of all the other agents that can give you your its assessment before you go and do the review, and even maybe outline all the places that that need review.
Mm-hmm. And you saw how easy it was to recruit a new member.
Yeah.
You can do that very easily right there at the command line as well.
Yeah. Jeff, this is great stuff.
Yeah. Now,
congratulations, Brady.
Yeah. I do want to show the usage there.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
So I'll just run usage one more time. So after we told it to do just that first phase, we're in at 18 requests.
Okay.
That's with the 3x multiplier. So that was 6 total requests that we sent. And we've used about 13.4 million tokens.
That's nuts, but okay.
So
good thing you're paying by the request. Now, can you explain how much you're paying per request?
So out of the box with GitHub Copilot, you get 100, you get several hundred requests, premium requests, depending on what level you're paying for. You don't get any premium requests if you're on the free account.
Right.
But,
so tell us about how much that would cost.
So the Copilot Pro, I believe, is $10 a month, and Pro Plus is $40 a month.
Right.
And right now, these are all numbers as of February 2026. Right now, you get when you go over on your premium requests, 25 premium requests are $1.
Oh, so this didn't even cost $1.
So this didn't even cost $1.
Oh my God.
Right. So over the course of a day where you send in maybe a dozen different requests or so, that might cost you $7-8.
Yeah.
But over the course of a month, that might be $60,
right?
$70, and add that up, and how much more software are you getting written at a higher quality?
That's the thing. This is ridiculously affordable for anybody who's ever done software work with a team. So, Jeff, what can I say? This is amazing. Anything else?
This is all I got for now. We might talk a little bit more about where Squad's going next time, because there's a couple of very cool side projects that are coming along with Squad that I think our viewers are going to be interested in learning more about.
Fantastic. And if you have any questions or comments or, suggestions, any of that, send it to Jeff and me by email at codeitwithai@appfinex.com. And who knows, we might use your ideas on the show, or at least call them out, and you might get a mug. So with that, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
I'm going to go rename my squad to Members of the Grateful Dead.
Very good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazertrain.com and blazerpuzzle.com for more great content.